You ready? What?
I was just thinking. You're good.
Imagine being 80 years old and having all of your life savings tied up in an annuity, and the only way to get the money back is to pay large penalties. Well, this is a problem affecting many of Allianz Life Insurance Company's customers right now, and my group and I have come up with some recommendations to help solve the PR problem because of this. I will first go over the current situation, I will go over our recommendations, and then I will leave some time at the end for some questions. So the current situation, Allianz Life, they sell life insurance and annuities, and they have been sued by the Attorney General of Minnesota and by the California Department of Insurance for inappropriately marketing and selling their annuities. Basically what happens is they've been pushing products that are inappropriate for elderly people. They've been pushing these products towards them and encouraging them to buy them, and their money gets tied up in these annuities and they can't get the money out. So imagine, like I said, having all of your money tied up in an annuity when you're 80 years old and not being able to get it back. It makes absolutely no sense. So this was actually covered in a Dateline NBC investigation with Chris Hansen, and so there's been a lot of problems then with customers not feeling confident in Allianz Life. So we've come up with some recommendations to help solve this problem. The first recommendation we have is to try to contact Dateline NBC and do a follow-up story and go over some things that we're gonna do to help fix the problem. The first thing we want to do is create a stricter code of ethics for our insurance agents so that they have this code of ethics that they have to go by to sell Allianz Life products. So we want to go over that with Dateline NBC and get it back out there so the viewers of Dateline know that we're making changes. And we also want to put out a press release to newspapers. In our discussions, we felt that this issue wasn't very well known, and we feel like the only people that really know about it were the people who saw it on Dateline or people that have read about it in the paper. And so we want to get press releases out to these papers that wrote about this so that the people that read these papers can now read that, hey, we're doing stuff to fix the problem, and that you can still trust us for your financial needs. And the final thing we want to do is reach out to our current customers who may have read about this in the paper or seen it on Dateline. We want to send them letters, again, explaining the whole process we're going through of fixing the problems that they have currently had, and make them feel confident that they can stay with Allianz. And another thing with that is we'll explain a process we want to go specifically with our current customer or with their current customers is they can reevaluate the products that they have and switch, annuities or life insurance products if they feel that the products that they have aren't necessary. So we recommend that they go over that in the letter that they send to their customers. And so I will now open it up for any questions that you guys may have. Yes.
Nick Noring. Do you know how long those annuities take place? How old would they be when they were allowed to take them out?
Well, it obviously depends on the individual, but a lot of them, people were 65 years old and their money was tied up for 15 years, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to have money tied up for that long when you're that old, because, to be honest, you don't know if you're going to live that much longer. So, yeah.
Eric Lytle, since you're making restrictions on who can sell the life insurance and how much they can sell, do you think this would be a problem for profits for the business?
Well, the way it works right now is that the people who sell the products are independent insurance agents, and so they have to be licensed anyways to sell Allianz products. And so we're just going to go through this stricter process of deciding, who can. It's not really, I guess, a stricter process, but it's more of an education process of making sure that they understand, that there are certain products that are appropriate for certain people, that they abide by a code of ethics. And if they don't abide by this code of ethics, then they will no longer be allowed to sell products. And in fact, Allianz has already started going through a process of eliminating these people that are, in the Dateline investigation. And so we want to formalize that process, or we recommend they formalize the process. there any other questions? Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, when you guys are, or when you're talking about improving their image and like admitting their mistakes, are you gonna put it more on the company or the actual sellers that were selling these annuities?
Well, we want to, I mean, like I said, it was a problem with the agents, but we licensed the agents. So we're going to admit that or I recommend that they admit that it was their problem in licensing, agents who they shouldn't have, and that they're fixing the problem that they had previously. It wasn't, an overt, they weren't purposefully trying to do this. It was the agents doing this, but we want to admit that they go through this process of making sure that people are properly credentialed and, selling the right products. I am running out of time, so I'd like to wrap things up. I just would ask for your approval by Friday because I plan to meet with executives from Allianz next Wednesday. And if you have any further questions, you can contact me later. And I thank you for your time.
Bill, I'll take your character sheet, and you are free to go.